I took every rotation player in this entire NBA Finals, all 3 games, and boiled their whole series down to one grade that blends efficiency and impact. Then I ranked them 1 through 14, and the leaderboard is genuinely shocking because the 2 best players in this Finals, by the numbers, both play for the team that just lost Game 3. And the 2 leading scorers in the series, they're near the very bottom. Let me show you. Here's the idea. Points per game tells you who shoots a lot. It doesn't tell you who's actually playing the best basketball. So I built one number that captures both how efficiently a player scores and whether his team wins the minutes he's on the floor. Run it across all 3 games and it completely reorders who you think the best players in this series have been. This is Game is Culture. Real quick before we dig in, if you like breakdowns that actually show the math instead of just yelling takes at you, go hit subscribe. It's free and it genuinely helps, so click it. First, the method. Same formula as always, fully transparent. Half the grade is true shooting percentage, the gold standard for scoring efficiency. The other half is plus minus, the team's net points while you play, on the same 0 to 100 scale. Average them across all 3 games. 12 minutes a night to qualify. Simple, and it does not care about your reputation. Now the leaderboard, and the top will surprise you. Here are the top of the rankings. Number 1 for the entire finals so far, Karl-Anthony Towns with a 68. Number 2, Mikal Bridges, a 67, both Knicks. Then Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama from the Spurs, neck and neck. So the 2 highest graded players in this finals both play for New York, the team that just dropped Game 3 at home. Start with the leader, Karl-Anthony Towns, 16.5 points, 11 rebounds on 61% true shooting, and the Knicks are a plus 31 in his minutes across the series. That's the highest mark of anyone on either team. He doesn't have the gaudy point total, but by efficiency and impact, he has quietly been the single best player in the NBA Finals. And right behind him, Mikal Bridges, a guy averaging just 10 points. How is a 10-point scorer the second best player in the finals? Because he's efficient and the Knicks are a plus 29 when he plays. He defends, he moves the ball, and his team dominates his minutes. The metric doesn't care that he's quiet. It cares that New York wins when he's out there. Now here's the truly shocking part. Look where the 2 leading scorers of this entire finals rank. Jalen Brunson, 27 points a game, the most in the series. He grades 13th out of 14, second to last. And OG Anunoby, the second leading scorer at 21 a game, only manages 6th because his team is a minus 18 when he plays. The guys filling up the box score are sinking the impact leaderboard. Sit with the Brunson number. He is the leading scorer in the NBA Finals, 27 a game, and he grades 13th of 14 players. Why? Because he's getting those points on 46% true shooting, way below the line, and the Knicks are a minus 13 in his minutes. High volume, low efficiency, negative impact. That's the profile this metric punishes hardest. Quick interruption, because now's the time. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. I'm not gonna beg, but I am gonna ask, so hit it and I'll keep going. So what about the actual superstar? Wembanyama, the biggest name in the series, grades 4th with a 59. And that's not a knock. He's averaging 29 on good efficiency. He's clearly the best pure player on the Spurs. He sits 4th instead of 1st only because the impact half of the metric rewards the role players above him, who happen to share the floor with winning lineups. Which brings us to the big caveat, the honest limitation. Plus minus over just 3 games is noisy. A role player like Bridges can post a huge plus 29 partly because of the lineups he happens to play in, not purely his own greatness. So this leaderboard isn't a list of the best players alive. It's a snapshot of who has been most efficient and most present for winning basketball in this specific series. Read it as a lens, not a final ranking. But even with that caveat, the headline survives. The Knicks have the 2 highest graded players in the finals, Towns and Bridges, and they're still only up 2 games to 1. That tells you something real. Their best, most efficient players aren't the ones taking the most shots. And that disconnect is exactly why a series they could be dominating is suddenly competitive. And here's the cleanest way to see the Knicks' whole problem. Their most efficient, highest impact player, Towns, takes about 12 shots a game. Their lowest graded, high usage player, Brunson, takes 27. So New York is funneling the most shots to the player helping them least, and the fewest to the player helping them most. Fix that imbalance and this series might not be close. So the leaderboard tells a story the box score hides. The Knicks have the best player in the finals and don't fully use him. The Spurs are deep and balanced with 4 guys in the top 10. And the loudest scorers in the series have by impact been among the least valuable players on the floor. The numbers see a completely different game than the highlight reels do. And that's the whole point of grading it this way. It strips away the noise of who scored the most and asks the only questions that win titles. Who's efficient and who's on the floor when their team is winning? By that standard, the best player in this finals is a big man taking 12 shots a night, and the leading scorer is 13th. Basketball is stranger than the box score. And the deeper you go, the clearer the pattern gets. The Spurs have 4 players in the top 10 of this leaderboard. Wembanyama, Vassell, Champagnie, and Keldon Johnson. That's depth, balanced, and efficient contributors up and down the roster. The Knicks have the 2 best individual players, but a steeper drop-off after them. So it's talent at the top versus depth throughout, and depth just stole Game 3. And it should change how you watch the rest of this series. Stop watching the scoreboard for who scored the most. Watch the efficiency, and watch who's on the floor when the lead actually moves. By those measures, Towns has been the best, Bridges has been quietly elite, and the leading scorers have been treading water. The eye test and the grade sheet are telling 2 very different stories. There's also a lesson here about what wins in June. 3 of the top 5 graded players are not their team's leading scorer. They're efficient bigs and role guys who finish, defend, and don't waste possessions. That's the finals formula in a nutshell. You don't need the most shots, you need the best ones, and you need your team to win the minutes you're out there. And it sets up Game 4 perfectly. If the Knicks finally funnel touches to their highest graded players, Towns and Bridges, and ask less of their inefficient scorers, they should pull away. If they keep running the same offense that leaves their 2 best players starved for shots, the Spurs' balance will keep this a coin flip. The leaderboard isn't just a ranking, it's a roadmap for what each team should do next. So that's the entire finals, graded and ranked. Towns number 1, Bridges number 2, and the leading scorer down at 13th. Do you buy a leaderboard that puts efficiency and impact over raw points, or would you weight it differently? Tell me your formula down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.